Why does AOC complain that you have not been grooming younger people for leadership?
I don't know. You'll have to ask her. Because we are.
That was kind of sharp, kind of dismissing her. Boop.
I'm not dismissing her. I respect her. But they are there, and they are building support for what comes next.
So the Democrat Party is basically eating itself alive right now. They are in full-blown civil war. They are infighting. You love to see it. And of course, this was what was expected after they lost the 2024 election so badly, because simply put, they were out of touch with the American people. And I think even a lot of the Democrats seem to understand that. But as we'll talk about tonight, and what's interesting is that there are basically two camps right now in the Democrat Party. One side is saying that the woke progressives like AOC are the reason they lost the election. You know, they're just too radical on the social issues. They are toxic to Americans. And there's the other side that is basically saying the opposite. They are saying that the Democrat establishment politicians like Nancy Pelosi, like Joe Biden, Barack Obama, all of those characters, they're the real reason they lost, because the American people are having a populist uprising. They are sick and tired of establishment politicians, and that's why Donald Trump is so popular. What I think is interesting is that both sides are kind of correct there, right? It is true in both regards. Yes, the establishment stuff lost you the election, and the woke stuff lost you the election. That's why the Democrats, or whatever direction they go here, they're kind of screwed, because you have to somehow figure out how to reject both if you want a chance at actually having a viable political party. But with that said, okay, as of tonight, we can officially report that Nancy Pelosi has just pulled off another coup, and this time it was against AOC, and it has everything to do with those themes that I just talked about, right? The establishment Democrats versus the woke progressives, this power struggle that's going on between them. And as a conservative Trump supporter, you kind of got to just sit back and laugh and enjoy the show. So we'll give you that full story here today, folks. Do us a favor, though. Make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Help us hit our goal of 400,000 subs. And with that said, okay, so let's get into this. Basically, what's been going on is that for the past several weeks now, AOC has been pursuing a spot as the top Democrat on the Congressional House Oversight Committee, right? Basically, her logic is, well, I've been in Congress for several years now. Yes, I may be a crazy progressive, but I've actually towed the Democrat Party line. I've done what Pelosi has asked of me. Surely she would not stop my attempt to serve on this committee, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you would be wrong, because for the past several days here, despite the fact that she is literally in the hospital right now, right? She broke her hip over in France. Nancy Pelosi has been trying to tank AOC's House Oversight Committee bid, according to the New York Post. So here's that story from a couple days ago, and then we'll give you the update, because AOC has just lost that election to be on the House Oversight Committee. So former House Speaker Pelosi has reportedly launched a bid behind the scenes effort to thwart AOC's bid to serve as the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. Pelosi would rather see Representative Gerry Connolly serve as ranking member on the high-profile panel, and is, quote, actively working to tank AOC's bid, according to Punchbowl News. Apparently, the former House Speaker has been making calls urging Democrats to support Connolly, the outlet reported on Thursday. I do think that AOC is a giant liability for Democrats. All she does is cause problems, so Pelosi is kind of correct in that regard. But at the same time, you know, AOC came into Congress as a very progressive Democrat, but all she's done for the past several years is, despite the fact that she has not necessarily dropped those progressive politics, she's been a giant shill for the mainstream Democrat candidates, right? Let's not forget, she was at the DNC speaking for and campaigning for Kamala Harris, after all. So she's kind of done her job. She's done her time in that regard. So that's kind of funny to see as well, right? AOC came into Congress under that 2018 Bernie Sanders wave under the presumption that she was going to challenge the Democrat establishment. She did not do that. She actually did the bidding of the Democrat establishment, hoping that, hey, maybe I'll get this oversight committee position. And what does Pelosi do? You're denied. Get out. We don't know you. It's kind of funny to see. Now, interestingly here, as of a couple of days ago, multiple outlets had reported that AOC does have the support of the majority of Democrats on the oversight panel. Well, again, as of tonight, we can report that is unsuccessful. That did not happen because now, according to the Washington Examiner, AOC just lost a key vote on that oversight committee to this very guy, Gerry Connolly. So as of tonight, AOC's bid to become the most powerful Democrat on the influential House Oversight Committee took a fatal blow after these parties' steering committee selected Gerry Connolly over the progressive squad member. So despite all the reporting that AOC still had a good shot, the Pelosi coup is not going to work. As you see in the Democrat Party, whenever Nancy Pelosi wants something, in the end, she ultimately gets it. She does not want Joe Biden to be the candidate. What happens? Joe Biden, despite his resistance, is forced out of the race. It would seem the same exact thing has happened here with AOC. Now, interestingly here, despite the fact that we are all laughing at AOC because she basically just got owned tonight, okay, she got reminded who is really in charge over in the crazy Democrat Party. Before you celebrate it too much, it should be pointed out that many Republicans actually wanted AOC to staff this position, essentially because she was going to be so crazy and so incompetent that essentially she would not be able to really get anything done. Whereas in contrast, we probably have a much more competent politician now on the House Oversight Committee. This is something that was pointed out recently by a Republican congressman. Take a listen.
Well, of course, we don't have anybody from the Biden administration here, so we'll let your comments stand. But I want to move on here. Of course, you are a member of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, the chair, in fact. You're also a member of the AOC fan club, and I understand. And besides believing that you will have a good working relationship, what leadership qualities would make Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez an effective oversight ranking member?
Yeah, well, I think that if you look at the current leadership with the Oversight Committee on the Democrat side, they've had Jamie Raskin leading them. So the Democrats have nowhere to go but up. Jamie Raskin has been wrong. He's had.
So then how will AOC make you go up or make the Democrats go up?
Yeah, well, she's better spoken. Look, I think that, the Democrats are turning on AOC. My endorsement of AOC is probably hurting her, which I think is amusing. They're wanting to go back to another boring old guy like Gerry Connolly. But look, AOC is, I think she represents a big segment of the Democrat Party that believes in socialism, that believes in the Green New Deal, that believes in wokeism. So if the Democrats want a real Democrat to lead the Oversight Committee on their side, I think AOC is perfect for them.
What about her leadership qualities?
Well, look, lucky for her, she's in the minority, so she doesn't really have to display a lot of leadership qualities. All they're going to do is try to complain and obstruct and do things like that. But I think AOC is the best they got. If that tells you anything about the Democrats on the Oversight Committee, I think AOC is the best they got.
If you're going to be part of the AOC fan club, you got to give her more than she's just. You got to give us more, applause for her leadership qualities. You didn't list any.
Right. So that's why, in a weird kind of way, AOC losing this vote may actually be a minor political loss for Republicans, because AOC would be so incompetent and, by the way, so deranged. Right. I can fully imagine that on that House Oversight Committee, she would be constantly screeching about Trump and calling to investigate Trump and just obstructing everything, obstruct. She would be like Adam Schiff on steroids, and it would actually be a really bad look for the Democrat Party. Americans overwhelmingly, even who did not vote for Trump, do want Democrats to try to find common ground. She would be so Trump deranged that it would make a very bad image for the House Democrat Party and potentially save us a little bit in the 2026 midterms from the blue wave that would historically come. Now, instead, Democrats are going to be getting a significantly more competent and probably a little bit less idiotic, albeit establishment politician on that committee that's not really going to make too much noise. But again, does it really matter? No, we don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just very interested to sit back and kind of watch the infighting that's about to happen in the Democrat Party, right? It's very curious because as you saw actually in a lot of the 2024 primaries, many of those original squad members like Jamal Bowman, like Cori Bush, lost their re-election campaigns. There's a pushback against the woke stuff. But then in the 2024 election, what also happened was a rejection of establishment Democrat leadership and the woke stuff at the same time. So they're going to have this back and forth. At what point do they realize that they're both wrong? I'm not exactly sure, but it's interesting to see. I don't know at what point the Democrat Party decides to just be normal, but we'll find out, right? It's either the geriatric failed establishment or the crazy-eyed woke lunatic progressives. What a political party they have. With that said, though, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.